back to the moon landing. I know that we're live, Riley. You don't have to tease me like that. Welcome back. We are live with a section that I think we are calling Movie Magic. People might not know. I got a friend Chris here is a big writer, making a lot of
I
comic
noticed
book
that you
scripts.
corrected yourself. You said good, and then you changed
No,
it.
I wanted to
saw
get
that.
across that you make. No, that's not what I meant. They're an okay but big writer, and things are going really okay for them. And we've also got here in the chat, Jay is also here. Hello, Jay.
Hello. I am also a big sort of good writer. Chris and I have done that together a lot,
Yeah,
and
y'all
I'm
are
happy to bring our collective skills here.
writing a secret project for Moonshot that we have not. I don't think we've announced yet, but we've got a secret project coming along that I'm very excited for.
Every writer knows it's better to be big than good anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, big is better. Yeah, because if you're good but no one remembers it, well, who cares?
And and I used to have a Twitter profile that said it was Andrew Sherman Writes. So we're all equally writers, I think, is really what I would say.
I believe that.
Yeah. And if there's one thing that we all love, it is the cinema. So we are here. We need your help. We want to write a movie. Chris and I have started, and then we hit a bit of a roadblock. So to start things off, we've got our script here. We want to write a nice detective story. We're going to fade in on the office of Glock Clayton, private investigator. The office has seen better days. Glock's desk is littered with half-drunk cups of coffee, losing horse race bets, and an overturned picture with his ex-husband that used to stand tall. Glock is equally disheveled, looking more like a miserable pile of secrets and unkempt facial hair than a man. This is an office that looks like it could close for good at any moment, which makes it fortunate when a knock comes at his door. Glock says, who is it? And there's no answer except a click as the door handle turns. The door that says Clayton Investigations in faded letters opens, and standing there with a case is someone.
And this
Who
is
are
where
we?
every writer just taps out.
Yeah, you
No,
get
this
one
is-
character in. One character
I
in,
have-
and you're just like, oh boy.
I have 35 documents on Google Docs that look just like this. From this year.
writing shit's hard.
I need a partner for Glock Clayton, private investigator. And also, I need to know what we're investigating.
I would suggest, or no, go ahead, Chris, please.
My instinct for the partner, and call me a hack, but we've already introduced the element here. I think if a horse walked in, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Okay, I was gonna say, what type of character is the most opposite to Glock Clayton that we could possibly imagine? The opposite of a down on his luck private investigator searching for truth? I think the answer is a very jolly assassin, but I would love to hear other such ideas.
Say a door-to-door phone book salesman.
Door-to-door phone book salesman. Hey, who else is in the chat with us? Introduce yourself. I'm sorry
Hi.
I didn't do that earlier.
Hi, I'm Dan. I was in the last segment.
You seem to have recovered from the plane crash very well.
Yeah, that's what happens when you, well, listen, the Quad City wasn't that far. It was a short
crash wasn't
walk.
that bad, really. If you watched it, it's kind of just like dinked the ground.
I've seen
It just sort of landed
People
without
walk away from those
exploding
things
at
all
all.
the time.
Yeah. So I want to take Dan's excellent suggestion and combine it with Jay's excellent suggestion. I think what we have on our hands here is a door-to-door assassin who kills people exclusively with phone books. That's like his MO.
Mm-hmm.
And this person is going to be Glock's partner. That's what we now need to figure out.
Yeah, door-to-door phone book assassin. What are they trying? We're trying to figure out what we're solving. I do see it in the chat, investigating love.
Ooh.
I think that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, okay.
I hear an ooh from the other side of my apartment, which means that we're hitting big. We're hitting a good corporate audience.
We're hitting a wide demographic.
Wide demographic. It's not just dudes on Twitch chats. So perfect.
So how do we interpret investigating love? Is it the standard kind of like your private eye investigating like an affair, or is it like is it more abstract than that? What do we think of when we hear investigating love?
Is it is it that this phone booth assassin has been so has had such a linear focus on their life as the phone booth assassin for their life that now they think they might be in love, but they functionally do not know what that means, and so they are looking to investigate the concept of love. That's a funny idea. I don't know if it makes an actual good prompt for a script.
Hmm.
Mm.
I'm trying
Wow.
to think. Oh, I'm trying to think. We've got a good suggestion here. I want to sidestep a little bit. Colton asks an interesting question. Do they kill people by throwing phone books?
I like
want to
that.
say typically yes, but at
Yeah.
a part near the end of the movie, I think that this guy has to have been working on trying to figure out how to tear a phone book in half the entire movie. I think that's something that he's been trying to figure out ever since he saw it at an assembly when he was 8. And I think that in the end of this movie, he's going to tear a dude in half.
Oh, that's
pretty
amazing.
good.
I think
That's
it'd
dope.
be really funny too if he still couldn't tear the phone book, but he could rip a human.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's your comic relief
like the
segment at the
idea-
end of the movie after the
I like
credits
the
and
idea
stuff.
too. I like the idea too that like the reason he wants to rip the phone book is because he's obsessed with like Halo 2 dual wielding. Like he wants to be able to go like phone book akimbo.
He's so
Sure.
far bound to one phone book. But if he could split to two, he can't lift 2 phone books at the same time. That would be
Yeah.
unwieldy.
Yeah.
But if he got 2 half books, he'd be perfect.
Yeah. This is the
Mhm.
story of the phone book assassin trying to learn to be poly. He's like one relationship just isn't working for me anymore. We're investigating love. I need 2, and you show that visually because cinema is a visual medium. You show that by his efforts to rip the phone book in half.
We're showing
how
he
you make
literally
art.
has 2 hands.
Yeah.
So this is good.
yeah.
This is good. But what do functionally what are they going off and investigating in order to accomplish this?
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I
Maybe-
thought.
Maybe someone stiffed our I wrote phone booth assassin. I think I meant to put phone book assassin.
Oh,
Maybe someone stiffed him on his last payment.
I was gonna say maybe somebody stood somebody up on a date, and they're trying to like make sure they're all right because they're like, I haven't seen or heard from this person in however long. It's a missing person, but also could just be a ghosting situation. So you're investigating to find out which one it is.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Now, is this a comedy, a romance?
The guy's name is Glock Clayton.
Hmm.
So serious drama.
Yeah. Assassin got ghosted question mark. Wants Glock to check out what happened to their date.
Yeah. And like I imagine that Glock would be like, look, phone book man, they probably just like didn't want to go on the date with you because you're a weird phone book assassin. But once they like get berated into, and maybe it's like, all right, like Glock is so far behind on money that he's like, he thinks this case is dumb, but like he has no choice when the phone book assassin starts waving assassin money at him. So he goes to investigate, expecting to just find, yeah, this is a person like sitting on Tinder and looking at other dates instead. But actually there was some kind of disturbance at their home and they are missing.
I like this. What is our phone book assassin's name?
Yeah, can we get a name suggestion in the chat, please?
That's a good one. Yeah.
When you're in love, go to the world's most divorced man. Exactly.
I did love that comment.
Go door to door, solving other people's relationship problems in order to find the perfect partner for someone else. Get investigating an affair that involves the living concept of murder and the concept of love.
Ooh,
Jan
Veranda.
Veranda.
Jan Veranda's
Fantastic
pretty good.
hero.
This is
Yeah.
Jan Veranda.
No tan assassin.
Not an assassin. That's on par with the names for our project that Chris texted me.
I literally thought that. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that sounds like a yeah.
Personal recent favorite, Alive Gordon, which I believe was when you misspelled Olive Garden and decided you had to let me know. I got about a dozen of these.
Their date's name is Alive Gordon.
But the
Thank God
movie
we can't use
poster,
that for our project anymore. Jesus Christ.
the movie poster is like Glock Clayton will find out is Alive Gordon alive.
Is Gordon alive?
So
And
okay,
Assassin is good too.
let's just keep going with an outline and we can block out things more as we need. But so Jan waves around assassin money. like it's the pages of a phone book.
Phone
which
book.
which that's how you know that she does it real deftly. Phone
I
book
gotta.
assassin is like inspired. It's like the next evolution of the fucker and the jerk that like decides he's gonna kill a random person in the phone book.
Yeah. I got a question. Genuinely speaking, are there still phone books? And if so, like, now that landlines aren't prominent, do they have cell phone numbers in them now?
So yeah, real question. It's kind of weird that like you used to get a book that listed your name, phone number, and address, and just like got delivered to everyone for free, right?
Yeah.
Because what would be the problem? Why is that a bad? It's okay. What could happen?
I bet they are still around because I think that people are
Yeah.
less online than we give it credit for, but it's probably shitty. Like I'm sure that a lot of like if you go to a phone booth and try to call, no one will pick up because it's their old landline phones.
Yeah.
He's been around the block a time or two and knows a few things. We get to Alive Gordon's house.
Yes.
So, Jan Veranda and Glock Clayton, they here. Hold on, Jan Veranda. Let's put that in bold so we can see it. All right, they get to Alive Gordon's house. What kind of clues do we find about? So, first of all, what's up with Alive Gordon? Alive Gordon's not here.
Yeah. I imagine that Live Gordon is not present.
All right, Alive Gordon is nowhere to be found.
The Rared in the chat says phone books I've gotten in recent years are also like a quarter of the size they used to be.
I believe that.
I was
Which
gonna make
mean-
that joke that they're just real short now.
Well, I was gonna say is whether it's Alive Gordon or someone else is. This is jumping ahead a little bit. Maybe we learn Alive Gordon works for Big Cell Phone and was actually supposed to go on that date because they were carrying out a hit on our phone book guy because he's the main customer of the phone book company at this point, and with him out of the way, Big Cell Phone will be able to completely monopolize the market.
And that would be fitting because our main character is dealing with maybe being a little like disillusioned with love. You know, his husband left him over, you know, sort of horse race betting.
There we go.
So I mean, that ties in of like see like, and then they both kind of have to like, I don't know, like they like Glock Clayton is sort of like taking the cynical approach, but maybe Jan Veranda is still optimistic about the chance for both of them to find love.
And
I got a
that's why-
hunch.
Yeah.
What if, you know, Jan Veranda, they're professional. They were there 5 minutes early, wearing their best, ready to go for this date, right? What if they were sitting there at the table, Alive Gordon walks in, it's love at first sight, and they know I can't go through with this hit. I
Yeah.
can't do this.
Yes,
I
yes.
can't
That is
do this.
exactly what I was
Beautiful.
thinking when I brought it. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
love at first sight. Absolutely know that they can't do it. But instead of facing their fears and going in and saying, "Hi, let's just actually do the date," they ghost.
Yeah.
They can't handle it.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, did Jan Veranda, just for clarity, did Jan Veranda like did they make eye contact, or is it that Live Gordon sees Jan Veranda before Jan sees them, and like leaves before? Cause, like, so basically, does Jan know that Alive showed up and then left, or does Jan think Alive just never showed?
I think never showed is more tragic because then you get the flashback scene of Jan waiting and Alive never showing up, and then later in the movie you get that flashback scene again after you've learned what's up with Alive Gordon. It's the same scene from a different perspective as as Alive walks in.
Sadly,
and-
looking through the window with rain coming down, like dripping down the window, and like inside looks so cozy and warm, but they can't bring themselves to step
No.
inside.
No,
God, that's tragic.
it is.
It's all taking place inside that one corner bar from the painting with the diner.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nighthawks. Okay, so this is a little, you know, we know this, but this isn't like it actually happened in the scene. So, Alive Gordon's not at their house. What
Yeah.
What has happened? Also, I did put Big Cell Phone in bold. I think that Big Cell Phone is the name of a man. I think that he is in charge of cell phones in the area.
All
Can
right.
he
Yep.
be
Yep.
built like a fucking like Bill Sienkiewicz Kingpin? Like
Yeah,
when he's just like a big square, like
Exactly.
Absolute brick shit house.
The heir
Yeah.
of the Nokia fortune.
he's like shaped like a fucking big Sony Ericsson, just like big square man.
So what happened? Do we think that Big Cell Phone's goons got to Alive Gordon because
Yes.
they knew that Jan Veranda wasn't taken out?
I think
Yep.
so, yeah. I imagine that Big Cell Phones people sort of like came to confront Alive Gordon. There was some sort of struggle that would leave hints for, or do we show that Glock Clayton is really good at his job because there's not obvious signs of a struggle like you normally see in a movie like this, but he figures it out anyway because that's how damn good he is.
Ah, okay.
There's some kind of other hint that he can pick up on.
Mm-hmm.
What does a cell phone goon leave behind?
Oh, okay, hold on.
SIM cards. Just stray SIM, just like a stray SIM card falling out of a pocket.
The stray SIM card popped out of his phone?
Maybe. I don't
wish
know.
I wish we could do what the fuck was the shitty little, was it the Firefly? The phone for like kids that weren't allowed to have friends?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Like
You
I'm trying to
mean
think
like
of-
a burner phone you get at a dollar store?
Yes, but like the one that's specifically for like my parents won't let me have a phone, but they kind of will.
Oh,
Here's the
I knew kids with
Firefly. And
that,
it's like
yeah.
dinky. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just Googled burner phone for children, so I'm on a list. Uh,
I had a
I will
track
say,
phone as a young teen.
they-
which
they
serves the
look-
same purpose.
Apparently they look a lot nicer than they used to. You're
Oh,
talking
sure.
about like things like this one. Where's my OBS window? How do I pop this in?
You're dragging it in right now. I can see it. Oh, and you're in OBS. I don't know about on the Twitch. Yeah, you're doing it on the stream too. We can see it.
As I say, is that popping up for people? Did that pop up at all?
I can
Do
see
people-
the.
Oh
window.
no, I
You're
got
not
a
dragging it on all
redirect
the way.
notice because I put a Google link in here.
Oh.
Let's delete that. That didn't delete. What is happening? Anyways, but yeah, they look like Fisher Price cell phones.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
You think that these guys have a bunch of those?
The only reason I think that is because I think Big Cell Phone is smart, and I think that if you saw one of those, you would not suspect criminal enterprise.
Sure.
Right, because they have smartphones.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's
And you think
criminals are
like
smart.
that's for a homeschooled child. That's not for gangsters.
Why
Maybe
you single me out like that, Chris?
maybe one gets left behind. Maybe one of these goons is like, you know what? While we're here, you all keep dealing with the guy. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Went into the bathroom, pulled out his real cell phone because who's gonna use a June bug on the toilet? You can't look up stuff, right? You can't check
yeah.
Twitter. Set that on the counter and then just left it when he left.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Somebody also brings up a good point that I think would be a good like midpoint turn is that Jan Veranda is also being framed for the kidnapping and possible murder of Alive Gordon. Like what
I
if
do like
Big
that
Cell
too, yeah.
Phone Big Cell Phone whisks Alive Gordon away, and then because they know exactly what happened and they're trying to eliminate Jan Veranda, they like report, I think this person's responsible for this missing person, even though they are in fact the ones responsible for said missing person.
I will say we've given all of these people very silly names, and now I do not remember what anyone's names when I try to talk about them.
I know, I had to look. I was like, Jan Veranda?
Yeah.
So on Alive Gordon's computer, we find a dossier about Jan Veranda, which we're on one hand we're just like, oh, this must be like, hold on, what am I thinking? Oh, like maybe the kidnappers left this open, but it turns out it's because of the whole hitman thing. Does that make sense?
Can you repeat that?
I think that on Alive Gordon's computer, we've got this dossier that's all about Jan Veranda. And at first they're like, oh, it looks like the criminals left this behind. But then they're like, oh no, it looks like Alive Gordon did a lot of stalking of you before this thing started.
I
That's
see,
when you
yeah.
start to go down that trail. Yes, that's good.
Yeah, that's the first hint that fuck, the names are so bad that
I know.
Alive Gordon was hired to take out Jan Veranda. I also like the idea that Vero Lore has in the chat here that the little like Firefly shitty phone is like behind the couch due to it being kicked under it during the struggle, because then we could do something cinematic where like Glock Clayton enters the apartment. No Warren, of course, because he's cool. And then you look around the apartment. There's no signs of struggle, but there's like a couple like goldfish crackers, like right, just barely visible under the couch. And it's like almost like a little trail that Jay and Veranda kind of like secretly kind of like kicked while being dragged out to like signal anyone who came looking.
I like that. A struggle like this it would have destroyed any other cell phone. That thing falling, cracking, smashing.
Yeah.
But this is a junior cell phone. These things are built tough, you know?
That's part of why Big Cell Phone uses it for all his goons.
It's 70% rubber.
Like Luffy.
It's not struggle.
It's built for it tough.
Too
It's
beautiful.
neat things built for it tough, baby.
All right, what other clues get found in Live Gordon's house?
I think. Okay. I wonder if those two are enough to start, because we're gonna have to like go on this like journey of investigation where we learn more. And if we're getting like the sign that like will eventually tell us that Alive Gordon was hired to hunt down and kill Jan Veranda, and we get something that traces us to Big Cell Phone, those feel like two good branching things to move forward.
Okay. What if? So where do we go next? I feel like we need to find. I guess we've got the cell phone, and we've got a. I think we need to find out more about Jan Veranda. What if we find?
Can I
So,
go ahead?
Go ahead. Tell
I
me.
was just gonna say, can I pitch a scene? I don't know if it comes next or after whatever you're planning to pitch for Jan Veranda, but when they're trying to track down who is using the like Junebug Firefly, whatever the fuck it's called, the little kitty phone, can we do a scene where like Glock Clayton has to track that down to find out who bought it, but instead of going to some, like scenes where it's like, we gotta find the buyer of this, they go to some black market thing, instead he goes to a Toys R Us, and that leads to a Jingle All the Way-esque chase scene and fight scene in the Toys R Us between Glock and one of the Big Cell Phone's goons.
My
Yes,
God, that's
okay.
Perfect.
I just want to make a note
That's
here.
why I'm a big
that
time writer, baby.
This is exactly what working on our project has been like between me and Chris, and I'll be like, here's a big dramatic idea, and Chris will be like, what if there was a clown?
What if there was a clown?
Hey,
you
we
know,
don't talk about
We
clowns.
heard
I'm
too
not-
much about the search for
Yeah.
clowns that you were doing last
Yeah,
night.
we
during
know
Coco
about what
Fest.
would happen if there was clowns.
Jan and Glock go to a Toys R Us.
Oh.
Hold on, Toys R Us have been defunct for like years. What if this
Yeah.
is a black market Toys R Us that
That's
operates out of the
awesome.
shell of a
That's
Toys R
That's
Us,
awesome.
The last
selling-
living Toys R Us.
selling
got,
like black market toys?
Well, it's like
Yeah,
it's like
they've
the
got,
last
like, Nerf
blockbuster.
guns.
How there's the one independent blockbuster that's just owned by a guy who won't give it
Yes.
up.
Yes, and they've got like Nerf guns that actually shoot like knives or some shit, and it's like,
They've-
whoa,
they've got-
fuck, and
They've
the
got
shot of like,
tweens. Yeah.
like
They've got tweens holding Nerf guns as guards at the door. It's beautiful.
You can buy hyper-powered Nerf guns, actual lawn darts.
Oh, okay.
And
Two
all
things before you guys bring up
sorts
a good
of
point though.
toys.
What if there was a clown? I'm gonna steer
There-
into this. I hate to do it, but if we say,
Mhm.
okay, I have two pitches for this. Well, actually, no, one will scare Andrew. Never mind. If there's a clown in Toys R Us as like a hey kids, whatever, or like the mascot or sort of like whatever, because we can't really do Toys R Us. But there's like a clown sort of like person dressed as a clown there to entertain the clientele or whatever. If that person turns out to be the like undercover big cell phone person that they get in the fight with, like that's fighting a clown in a black market Toys R Us is just like that's good.
You're saying we're gonna come back around here, and this will be the final boss fight stage at the end
I
of
think-
the film.
Well, I think this is not the final boss. I think this is a second act fight. I think this is like
okay.
yeah. Because I think like final boss is probably like, oh, okay. What if the final fight is at the racetrack that Glock Clayton lost it all at?
Okay.
Okay.
I think what if Big Cell Phone? So, what if Big Cell Phone is a? We were talking about a guy shaped like a big cell phone, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What if we just see a guy in a cell phone costume during various scenes of this movie? Like he's a, he's a
Okay.
mascot running around being like, "Oh, I gotta share the stuff," right?
Yeah.
And it turns out he does that because he can sneak his arm inside and call his goons without anyone noticing.
And also, there's a great scene then where he's in the big mascot suit that's shaped like a big square cell phone, and Glock Clayton rips it open, and under it is just a guy in the exact shape of that mascot suit, big and square, but it's a human man.
That's the guy
Yeah.
that Jan Veranda rips in half. He rips in half
yeah.
the cell phone.
Yes.
He's shaped
Okay.
just like a cell phone, just like a phone book.
All right, hold on. Let me actually write this down. Big Cell Phone is a criminal who operates out of a giant cell phone costume. We see him in the background of multiple shots, but he's not much more threatening than your typical mascot.
I'm finishing this screenplay at some point. I have to write this thing through.
Near
I
the
don't-
end.
I don't
Go
want
ahead.
to halt our momentum, and if this is too distracting, just like tell me and I'll stop. But so Dan and Jay, during the very little preparation we did for this, Andrew and I were talking, and we were talking about how like noir style like detectives or PIs always have some kind of like personal mystery, and so we thought it'd be good if he lost his husband, divorced him because of this, like he like bet and lost it all on this horse race. And then I said, what if that horse race was rigged? And I have an idea to connect this to this other plot. I
Okay.
think Big Cell Phone is the one who fixed that horse race because the horse that he had win and upset Glock Clayton's bet was named like Cricket Mobile. Like the horse's name was like a brand tie-in. And so if the horse won, then it would
Yeah.
increase the
He
market
needed
share
it for
of the cell phone
sponsorship.
company.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it
so
beat
that's
old
how
yellow,
the two
old
plots.
yellow pages. Old Yellow Pages was the horse that lost, and it was really
Yeah.
a tragic time.
Yeah, and that's how the two plots connect.
I live in a town with a horse track. These are both on point for how horses are named.
I also love the idea that Andrew pitched where you're seeing this person in the mascot costume, and you either assume one, just funny background character, or two, like henchman minion of Big Cell Phone, but it actually turns out to be Big Cell Phone. That's fun. Like when you think that it's like a goofy like henchman character, but they're actually the big bad, like good stuff. You get the fucking like usual suspects mug dropping scene when they realize that Big Cell Phone's in there.
Old Yellow Pages.
Did Jan
I need-
Miranda
I need
like,
a-
get
I
to
need-
name that horse or something?
I need a cell phone related horse name. I'm opening this one up to the chat too. I need
Yeah.
a good horse name that also is an advertisement for a cell phone.
What if it's just Samsung Galaxy S21 5G or something like that, where it's just one of the really dumb named phones?
We could do that. I want
Oh!
I want a little more.
I got
Look
you.
at Karo says good signal, which is very funny.
I like ringback tone.
Ringback
Yeah.
tone's good.
Ringback tone is solid.
Yeah.
What about 5G is good? It's my horse. 5G is good. I don't know. Ringback tone rips.
Ringback tone and sell more bad what are they ringtones?
They're trying to sell ringtones. They're trying to bring
Amazing.
them back.
They're trying to bring it back,
bring
yeah.
Our Lord,
Oh,
2022.
Fucking Big Cell Phone's like tragic corporate backstory that's like supposed to like half-ass make the audience be like, well, I guess I kind of understand him, but he's still a bastard. Is like his family lost it all because no one bought ringtones anymore.
Ruined.
The market's falling to shit. We ain't sold. Back in my day, I could sell Bohemian Rhapsody as a chip tune for 99 cents. Little kids in high school would buy it all day. Nowadays, can't sell shit.
There was a horse named Spotify or streaming service that they just straight up sniped.
I got a boat I bought named Dayrude Sandstorm. Named it after the most bought ringtone we ever sold. It's worthless now. I hate that boat.
All right. Back to the plot. We're looking up. I need a goon name. Whether that's from Twitch chat or y'all, what's the name of a cell phone empire goon?
Okay.
Flip
Can
Manly.
it be like? Oh, Flip Manly's pretty good. I was gonna say you have like a guy that looks kind of like Arnold, and his name is T9. It's like a Terminator and like shitty texting reference.
All my ringtones gone. I like Flip as like I think Flip.
Okay. Yeah, Flip is good.
Flip Phones is his name.
Can we
just
make
call him
alliteration?
Flip.
Can we do Stan Lee style Flip Phones with an F?
Yeah.
Yeah, with an F. That's good.
Yeah, Flip Phones. No, I know it's spelled wrong. Google, thank you. Check about cell phone when Flip Phone shows up to replace it.
Oh, that's perfect, Andrew. That's the perfect reason to get them in the fucking conflict. Yeah.
Yeah, this leads to a chase. During the chase, I want us to use some of the shitty black market toys.
Yeah,
to
you got it.
Absolutely.
Track this guy down. So I need like 3 actions that happen.
Okay.
They have little bicycles for like preschoolers in Toys R Us sometimes. There's got to be a little bike involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone's riding around on one to escape.
Can it like I'm thinking like remember in Little Rascals when the rich kid's car has like a fucking switchblade thing under it? Like the bike could either have like knives that pop out of it or like a flamethrower or something real stupid.
Maybe he hops on the little bike. He starts to pedal with his his knees are coming up like but then he rings the bell, and when he does, an oil slick pops out the back.
Yeah.
Perfect,
That's good.
Or like marbles.
Marbles.
Well, I think I like oil slick because then we can tie it into like other shitty corporations like BP. Like they're like in together.
Okay.
Like yeah.
Okay, Jan and Glock laugh, but as he pedals away, he rings his bell, releases an oil slick. I think near the end, I think that he looks like he's gonna get away, and Jan and Glock look next to them, and they see one of those is it lawn rockets where they've got the little like tube that you stomp on and it launches.
Yeah.
I think they see one of those there, and this is the scene in Mad Max Fury Road where Max lets himself be a brace so that Furiosa can take a shot off of his shoulder.
Yeah.
I want to do that, except he holds the lawn rocket so that Jan can fire it off. And this is when they like become friends.
Yeah.
This
Can
is their bonding moment.
Okay. And can I pitch a conclusion to that action? Because I think they're planning the actual appearance of the rocket looks like it looks just like a toy, but like solid enough that you think it'll like make the guy fall over or like knock him down if they hit him in the back of the head or whatever. But because it's the black market thing, when they launch it and it hits him, he fucking explodes. Like, and then they're like, oh shit, like, how are we gonna follow up on this now, you fucking dunce, Jan Veranda? But then there's like something that was left over in the smoldering ashes of his pocket or something that then leads them to the next part, despite the black market exploding stomp rocket.
All right.
The Yamcha crater.
Yeah, at one point, Glock, I do like this from the chat. Glock blocks off the escape with a wall of fire from that silly string that was super flammable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna directly copy and paste this in. This is probably gonna look terrible. Oh boy.
Just do the paste. Yeah, without formatting. Yeah. Paste without formatting.
There we go.
There you go.
Has anyone ever wanted to paste with formatting?
No.
No.
All right. So far, Glock Clayton meets Jan Veranda. There has been Jan got ghosted once Glock to check out what happened to their date, Alive Gordon. Jan waves around assassin money like it's the pages of a phone book, and Glock has to accept even though he's seen this kind of thing before. Been around the block a time or two and knows a few things. They go to Alive Gordon's house. Alive Gordon's not there. Big cell phones goons come equipped with junior cell phones. One got kicked behind the couch during a struggle. No damage because it's built Ford tough for kids. And a dossier for Jan Veranda's found on Alive Gordon's computer. It's the first hint that Alive Gordon's not on the up and up. Jan and Glock go to a defunct Toys R Us which hosts a toy black market. You can buy hyper-powered Nerf guns, actual lawn darts, and all sorts of toys with pieces small and and all sorts of toys with pieces small and colorful enough to choke on. There's also a clown there. They're trying to track who bought the cell phone when Flip Phone shows up to replace it. This leads to a chase. We get our chase. We blow up Flip Phones. And in the Yamcha crater that was Flip Phones, what do we find? We need to find a clue that leads us to our next scenario.
My immediate first probably bad pitch is that Flip Phone we established in some other scene as being like a huge idiot who like needed like reminders of like how to get back to like headquarters, so it's like written out on like a piece of paper, like left then forward then right or whatever, like to sort of like the pathing, and that leads to one of Big Cell Phone's like bases or something along those lines, something that would lead us to the next step of infiltrating this sort of shadowy organization.
What if hell yeah, congrats on seeing a hummingbird. What if we find what if there's a struggle when we find it, we get one of them kicked behind the couch. What if when they pick it up, the reason that they can't just like call whoever it was, Flip Phones is out of minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've got to like, we're out of minutes, and so that's why he has to like carry around a notebook full of like shit that's happening, because he doesn't have it in him to remember what's up, and he can't text anyone about it because he's out of minutes.
I like that. Another way you could do it is if you want to keep the little phone as the MacGuffin of sorts, what you could do is he was out of minutes, so that's why he goes back to the Toys R Us to like refresh the minutes or get a new one or whatever. And then once they've taken him down, then they have access to his renewed minute phone or whatever else, and then they can find the numbers or whoever that could call. I don't know which one works better.
Just
but I think
imported all his
either one there
into it.
He'd bought a minute gift card, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
A minute reloading card.
Yeah. Because then you can do the scene where they come not face to face but voice to voice for the first time, where Glock Clayton's like, "Who is this?" and Big Cell Phone's like, "You'll never know. You're too poor," or some corporate shit. And then like fucking they hang up, and like Jan Veranda's like, "Damn it, we're out of leads again," and Glock Clayton's like, "Not quite. Did you hear in the background? That sounded like a water tower," or some bullshit they always pull with like really smart detectives, where like some like minute background detail clued them into something.
He heard the starting gate bell from a horse race.
That's it. That's great.
Okay, there it is. I also really
like, I know that sound anywhere as a gambling addict.
Sea Excursion in the chat, "You're out of minutes and out of time" is a one-liner that didn't make it into the final cut of the film. I think it does. I think that does make it into the final cut of the film.
I'll reload the minutes on the phone and try to call
Alice just had a really dumb idea inspired by something in the chat. That they call the baby phone, and the mascot suit starts ringing, and then like the big cell phone mascot guy is in the store, and they like look over to where it's ringing, and he's trying to like awkwardly like sneak away because he's like knows that he's a kid, and then they start chasing him down. He throws a cart in their way, and then like as they're trying to like recover from that, a pickup truck drives by, and the fucking big phone mascot jumps in the bed of the truck, and it zooms off, and it's like, fuck, we missed him. Like he's off.
All right. Okay, then our actual cell phone conversation comes later. But for now, we call the big cell phone.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Hey, what's up?
I'm just thinking of what cool twist could I put in here now that we're having this big cell phone fight.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, we're at a bit of a standstill, so we need. In my mind's eye, this chase looks like that heavy rain chase scene where you fail
Yeah.
every quick time event and eat shit every 10 seconds.
Well, yeah, obviously it's got to be like
Good
that.
call.
Yeah.
I'm thinking at one point there's like some guys walking by with a big pane of glass. And I think our heroes just run right through it.
Mhm.
Let me think. Pardon me if I missed any details. Were they riding any fun vehicles, or are they going by foot?
We did involve a child-sized tricycle. We could continue to utilize the child-sized tricycle.
Well, yes. One of them's. I think we've got a child-sized tricycle and also one of those little like pedal cars that one of the little cars, the big plastic. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, like the fucking like
Fisher-Price
almost
ass
like the
ones. I know what you mean.
Flintstones style like foot
Yeah,
pedal
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
What if the Rard, I'm not sure how to pronounce your username, but in the chat says they hijacked the Toys R Us clown car. What if there's a really small clown car and the really big cell phone costume just gets in no problem? Just like is able to just immediately hop in and drive off in it. And they're like, all right. And they get into a pedal car and they try to catch up with it.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
fun.
that's
I also
perfect.
love this idea from Vero Lore here that says to show the corruption that Big Phone has on horse racing, instead of the usual bell to start the races, it's now ringtones. I think
Yeah, it's good.
even if we keep the same thing that Andrew said, where he gets the hint because he recognizes the bell of the horse race, we can still include that because like during like the final horse race scene, you show how Big Phone's influence is creeping ever closer to pure dominance, and at that point he's changed it over to the ringtones.
So,
Hell yeah.
so now the question is, what trap does Big Cell Phone lead our heroes into? I feel like this has to be the point where they are led
Gotta
into
be
a
a
trap at
trap.
the end of this
Mhm,
chase
mhm.
scene.
Well, I think
Um,
this could be where they bring in the fact that Jan Veranda is now the police suspect.
Okay, elaborate.
Like they could like have set up like some kind of like police sting that's
Sure,
like,
okay.
you know,
Yeah,
Okay.
and Big Phone's is
phone
like,
book
I'm just
assassin, you're
a
under arrest.
yeah. I was just a concerned citizen. I'm just a concerned phone mascot guy. I saw a guy I thought was a criminal, and I called the police. Yeah, all right, that's good. And so
Well, I'm thinking it goes like even more specific than that. It's like it's like we know that Alive Gordon is missing, and Jan Veranda, we looked at or like I don't know how you get there, but it's like Jan Veranda was supposed to go on a date with this person, now this person's missing, Jan Veranda's guilty.
So what if so we've got big cell phones driving away in a small clown car, and we've got our heroes Jan Veranda and Glock Clayton are following behind on a pedal car, right?
Yeah.
They're in a police chase scene, and that's when we get the phone call.
Okay.
And they're talking, and they get a phone call and they're chatting about like, hey, you got to do this. This is when that whole problem happens. And then our heroes get pulled over because they're talking on the phone while driving.
Yep, that's it. That's absolutely
good.
it.
And they
That's
go, you know
good.
what? This is on us, our bad. But they go, oh no, Jan's arrested for murder. They murdered Alive Gordon. And that's where we get to our next. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I have a new heat to bring into this after that point.
Okay.
What if? Okay, so here's how I'm thinking of the structure at this point. I think the first act is sort of like establishing the characters, yada yada. We going off on the investigation. The Toys R Us scene, all of that happens in our second act. I think the midpoint is when Jane Veranda gets arrested, and Glock Clayton has to choose whether or not to like sit out of this or to continue to pursue this case, knowing that Big Cell Phone has the power and all the influence, whatever else. Does that, but it's like, I'm gonna need more help. Jan Veranda was my backup, and now they're in trouble. And so, who else can he turn to but his estranged husband? Then they have to try to work together to try to solve this. They end up there. Some conflict between them is also involved in the low point, where it's like, you know what, Glock, this is exactly why I divorced you, like, you know, that kind of shit. When we're at the all is lost moment.
Yeah.
So then we get to bring in the ex-husband and involve him as well.
Here's my pitch. The ex-husband left Glock Clayton for the winning jockey.
Yes.
And so they have an in at the racetrack.
Perfect. Yes.
And that he needs to call and use. He says, look, I know we ended on bad terms, but like, I need to use Little Horseman's access to get into this field because they're gonna be looking for me.
Yes. And Little Horseman is just like the sweetest, handsomest jockey man you've ever seen.
Of course.
Little Horseman's like played by George Clooney or some shit.
Michael
So we're
Cera.
gonna. I will say
it's for some. It's a slightly...
for the sake of time, we are gonna have a bit in the middle of our script that says some stuff happens. So what happens is there's a big cliffhanger. Jan Veranda gets arrested, and then we're just gonna cut to we're out of jail. Everything's good. We're sneaking into the horse stadium.
Yeah.
So what's our name? Glock Clayton. I don't know how I forgot it.
I fucking love Glock Clayton.
It's
man.
easy with a list like this.
I need somebody. I know you're not supposed to just like ask for free art like this, but if someone could draw a fucking like dime store PI novel cover with Glock Clayton in the case of fucking all this shit. That's the title of the movie is Glock Clayton in the case of all this shit.
Yeah.
But if someone could draw that for me, I'd be very happy.
That's a wild sentence. Is that grammatically correct? Has to swallow his pride and contact his ex-husband, who left him for the jockey that rode the horse that won the race that cost Glock Clayton everything.
It is actually.
This is I need what's the ex's name and what's the jockey's name?
Yeah.
Someone.
I need a jockey and I need an ex-husband for a PI who's now married to a jockey.
Okay.
Beer Lore also asked the ex-husband's job if they were also a PI. I don't know if they're what.
I don't think we need another PI. I think Glock Clayton's a bad enough PI for the both of them.
Yeah. Glock Clayton's husband probably just like worked at Chili's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Locking it in. It's Chili's.
Colt Ryder, Colt Merriweather. These are good.
Horse guy.
Colt Ryder's a jockey's name from an Ace Attorney game.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure is.
A flight attendant on Air Chili's. Yeah, franchise insurance adjuster.
Blaze
name or occupation.
What are we thinking? Winchester Bolton's pretty good too.
I like Winchester Bolton.
Yeah, that's a winner.
So that's Michael Cera's character's name, the jockey.
Yeah.
All right.
Michael Cera, you Winchester Bolton. I like how Michael Cera is the one actor we have cast.
Yeah, everybody else is just nebulous.
Everyone else is going to be unknowns. You know, we're making this as low budget as we can.
Yeah,
of course. Michael Cera's our one big get. We treat him like Bruce Willis in all those later day Bruce Willis movies.
There you go. I'm thinking for the husband, it's got to have a name that evokes just the most lovable dude you've ever met. I'm thinking something like Chris.
Could be more of a J, to be honest.
Okay, husband name.
Walt.
Okay.
Walt's good.
I like
Walt's
Walt. I like
solid.
Walt.
Yeah.
I can do a Walt, yeah.
I just thought Walt Hitman, which is a great assassin name.
Yeah.
But
The
not where
twist is
we
that it's like
wanna
a
go
it's like
here.
a fucking Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing where
We said he works for Chili's. Can his name be Walt Jalapeno?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Jay.
I don't know. It's another kind of pepper. What do you want from
Walt
me?
Jalapeno.
Walt Jalapeno.
Oh.
Inspired by the Mega 64 video with a character named Randy Tortilla.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Roger Murder. I had a last name for Walter, but I've forgotten it. So we might be. Are you locking in jalapeno, Andrew?
I think I am.
Okay.
Good. It's funny. It's good. Don't step on my jokes, Chris.
I love every joke that ends with someone being like, "What? It's funny."
It's funny.
Again, the vibe of Chris and I writing together.
Okay, so this is all going well.
I've got an important question.
Yeah.
We're like 5 minutes before we need to like really start wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Important question. Do we take this guy in fair? Or does Big Cell Phone not survive the encounter?
Big Cell Phone fucking has to eat it.
He gets trampled by horses. We're at the racetrack.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right.
Thinking. While the fucking Bohemian Rhapsody ringtone plays over the stadium speakers.
Yes, that is perfect. That's like
That's
the
our
signal for the
Kingsman-
plan being go. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's our Kingsman Freebird scene.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Yes.
a fucking like brutal shootout chase fight thing on horseback at the horse races while Bohemian Rhapsody plays in a MIDI file over the fucking speakers.
All right.
I also think that Big Cell Phone has to be riding what did we call ringback tone, the winning horse, and Glock Clayton is chasing him on his previously losing horse, Old Yellow Pages.
Yes.
And it's a redemption moment for both Glock and Old Yellow Pages.
God.
Yeah.
The shit writes itself. Writing movies is easy. Why doesn't everyone do this?
Yeah, I don't get what the big
When
deal
does-
is.
Cinema's easy.
When does he rip the guy in half?
That's a
good
great question.
I think during the
Excellent
confront
question.
I think during the confrontation Jan gets a hold of him and
Yeah.
rips him in half to avenge alive Gordon, who's not alive at this point.
Yeah.
During the some stuff happens, alive Gordon stops.
Becomes
Yeah, there you go. It just stops.
He
Wait,
is,
he-
as the TikTokers say, become unalive.
He's become unalived, exactly.
unalive,
Okay.
Gordon.
My pitch for how this goes is that we do the horse trampling scene, the ironic poetic justice thing. The horse tramples Big Cell Phone, and Glock Clayton goes over him. That's like the climax, but then we're like at the very end, we're sort of like Glock Clayton standing over him, and it's like, Big Cell Phone, you shouldn't have been so corrupt. And Glock Clayton's like, Big Cell Phone's like, fuck you, I have money, you'll never survive in this, whatever, the bullshit the villains say when they're like defeated, but like whatever. And that's when Jan Veranda fucking rips the fucker in half.
Okay.
That's the
that's
big
good.
finale for Jan.
Can I pitch one alternate version? Is Jan
No.
rips the Okay, never mind. I'll go fuck myself.
No, go for it,
actually.
go,
Fine,
go.
all right, no, later,
Go,
guys.
go.
I'm leaving the writer's room. I'll take my free coffee. I think he goes. He looks at Big Cell Phone. Goes. All right. Well, first off, the cell phone costume needs to have. I don't know if it's physical buttons or like on a cell phone screen, like the number pad buttons. So he gets He gets told, you're gonna need this, and then gets punched in the 9, the 1, and the 1 again. And then he rips the costume off and kicks him into the path of the horses.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's like the fucking like Bruce Lee like 5-inch punch into the fucking buttons.
Yes, it is exactly
and then fucking,
3 of those.
Yeah. Oh no, it's punch to 9, punch to 1, big like Sparta kick to 1, back into the horses. Like the last blow is yeah. Oh no, sorry. It's punch on 911 and then dial. The dial button is the kick into the horses.
That's
yeah. And I like this one-liner suggestion in the chat from you know what? I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. Big cell phone. You needed a better plan. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Need
yes,
more
Viralore,
minutes.
there's absolutely a moment where Old Yellow Pages stumbles and Glock like inspires the horse and is like, yeah. Oh, because like Old Yellow Pages is literally old, and Glock's just one more race, old buddy. Like, fucking like, yeah.
How do you inspire a horse? I guess
Dude, I
oats.
don't know that carrot.
Yeah,
That's a
carrot.
tried and true
Carrot.
method.
Oats. Running.
And here's what I've got as like our final scenes.
Yeah.
Eventually, Glock Clayton has to swallow his pride and contact his ex-husband Walt Jalapeno, who left
Got
him for the jockey that rode the horse that won the race that cost Glock Clayton everything. The jockey, Winchester Bolton, lets him slip into the horse arena. They confront Big Cell Phone. It turns out he fixed the race that Glock Clayton lost it all on. Big Cell Phone paid so that Old Yellow Pages would lose the race to Ringback Tone and help solidify his market position and sell more bad ringtones. He owns the horse race track. Near the end of the movie, Jan rips his costume in half like a phone booth to avenge Alive, but he's still just a man inside of his costume. They escape to the racetrack and Glock follows. Big Cell Phone climbs on Ringback Tone to ride away, but Winchester Bolton lets Glock ride Old Yellow Pages to catch him. In the end, Old Yellow Pages is faster, and Glock knocks Big Cell Phone off his horse. Big Cell Phone is trampled by horses.
This is very good. Oh, I like this research detail here in the chat from someone with actual experience. Buckets of peppermints in the stables backstage. That's pretty good.
Peppermints.
We can use that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. A really important thing. We only have 9 minutes left till the next segment starts. So we gotta wrap up. If the whole story is basically about Glock Clayton picking himself back up and believing in the possibility of love again after the divorce caused by the horse race gambling fix, yada yada, where does Glock Clayton end in terms of that emotional journey? Where does he end as a character?
I think that Glock Clayton has made peace with his ex and has made peace with the man that stole his ex, Winchester Bolton.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think that Glock has made peace with himself. The arts says deleting Tinder. I think he downloads Tinder. I think he's ready to get back out there.
Yes.
New
yes.
chapter.
That's
New
perfect.
chapter
That's
begins.
Because we said earlier that
On
Glock
his
Clayton,
toy phone.
Yes, like shitty Tamagotchi Tinder. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
because Glock Clayton earlier in the movie is like, see, this proves my point. Like, love is dead, and like Jan Veranda's like, oh come on, Glock, you just gotta get back on the horse. Fuck, he's gotta get back on the horse. He fucking he rides off on Old Yellow Pages installing Tinder on the phone. That's the fucking end of the movie.
Okay, and I think that we got a twist ending. I think that Jan Veranda thinks that, you know what, this has kind of ended poorly, didn't get the closure that they wanted, but then an envelope shows up at their door.
Ooh.
It turns out Alive Clayton, or not
Alive
Gordon
Live Gordon.
is still alive. And
Equal hook.
he went to the racetrack that day and placed a bet that exactly what happened was what was going to happen. That there were going to be two men that get on the horses and start riding, and then one of them would end up getting trampled by the horses, and Old Yellow Pages wins. Makes billions on the 1,000,000,000 to 1 odds.
Yeah.
And so I think Jan Veranda gets a cut and an invite to Alive Gordon's private island, where we'll have a spin-off adventure.
No, I
That's
think rather than the
beautiful.
private island, that's good as an eventual destination, but I think for the actual end of the movie, the last scene we see of those two, they finally have their date at the restaurant from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes. It's an envelope with an invite to a much more fancier restaurant.
It's an envelope with a fucking coupon to the restaurant from the beginning.
I like coupon. I like gift. It's just a gift card, and it's like a generic gift card because it's a smaller restaurant. They don't make their own custom gift cards.
Yeah.
There's a name written on it.
If you want to show the wealth, Andrew, because I heard you say a fancier restaurant, but I think we need for like thematic resonance, they have to go back to the same restaurant, but you can still have Alive Gordon flex the newfound horse spitting wealth if they just like look at the menu and is like, I'll have it. And like they just order everything on the fucking menu.
Well, honestly, now that I'm saying this, money isn't everything unless you're donating it to Trans Lifeline by hitting donate in the chat. But
The
other
movie
than
ends
that,
with
money
Alive
isn't
Gordon
everything.
donating all the money to Trans Lifeline on the
Yeah.
Moonshot stream. That'd be
Yeah, it ends with them watching a weird Twitch fundraiser. And donating a bunch. No, but I think that I think you're right. I think it's not about the money. Maybe they didn't make that bet. Maybe it is just they faked their death and they show up at the date.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Well, that's good because we don't know how they faked their death or anything in the first place. We did have to skip a little bit.
Yeah.
We skipped a little bit. We did the classic
leaving
writer's
to
trip of saying
interpretation.
some stuff happens.
Yeah.
The mystery part of our mystery movie.
Yeah. Mystery box. Yeah.
I think we've got some real good stuff here.
I think so too.
do.
I think you'd be hard pressed to tell me that you're wrong about that.
What is the name of this movie?
Okay,
Okay.
I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, this is nothing, but I did. I used to read the word hors d'oeuvres as horse divorce, and so the phrase horse divorce has popped into my head. Can we do anything with that? Can we build on that? That's nothing by itself, but can we elaborate?
I was trying to combine the horse race setting and the love subplot and make it like Kentucky Darlings, like trying to do like a Kentucky Derby thing. That's not quite it
Okay.
either. I don't think.
I don't want it to sound like a Hallmark romance movie. is the
That's
problem.
yeah. It's not right
that's
yet,
what
but
you-
like
yeah,
we're
yeah.
spitballing.
Zerard does say calling the odds in the chat,
Okay.
which hits horse
Ooh.
races, it hits gambling, and it hits cell phones.
And it also hits the
Yeah.
chance for love, baby, because it's all
Yeah.
it's all up in the air. I think as long as you slap a Glock Clayton in calling the odds, I think we're set.
Yeah. A Glock Clayton mystery.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. It's calling the odds a Glock Clayton mystery.
There we go.
God.
This-
Movies
I think this has been
rule.
wonderful. We
This
got calling
segment-
the odds a Glock Clayton mystery. This is basically a fully written movie. We got it right
Yeah.
here.
This segment is exactly what I was hoping it would be. This is exactly what I was hoping for when I pitched this. This is great.
This has been incredible. I think this worked out. Oh, hello, Riley.
Y'all have done a fantastic job. I love calling the odds Glock Clayton mystery. I love the I love the two men dueling on horses, someone getting trampled. Fantastic
Riley,
work.
real quick before you do actual professional shit, like I'm sure you're here to, who would you most like to play in calling the odds a Glock Clayton mystery when I shoot this?
Chris, I'm gonna be real with you. I came in at the last second and have been listening to the past 3 minutes to try to do a clean pass through, so that way it sounded
Alright,
like
so
I was
you're a
watching the
horse.
whole time.
You're a horse.
Yeah,
that's
I'm a
fine.
horse. I'm a
Yeah.
horse.
Riley, who do you want to be in a horse costume with you? Are you the front half of the horse or the back half of the horse?
I'm the front half of the horse.
Who's the back half?
And that's a secret that you're gonna have to pay $25 to find out here on the Moonshot Network.
What do we have coming up next, Riley?
Up next is competitive Stardew Valley with some of the wonderful folks from Some Good Shows and our buddy Ty. That's Jess, that is Cam, and that is Ty, and they'll be coming up shortly. I gotta get them into this fucking room to set up because I can't go backstage because they're listening to you through Discord on my headphones.
All right, well then we will leave and talk to y'all later. Thank y'all for coming out and helping us write
Thank
a
you
movie.
all. Thanks for continuing to donate. Hey, fucking keep showing up for Trans Lifeline, everyone. Thank you.
Hell yeah,
yeah.
thank y'all.
Let's keep this train going.
We'll be back.
Pop that up.